Imagine stepping into a room full of native English speakers, bright lights overhead, the hum of conversation all around you. You've prepared thoroughly, your vocabulary lists are organized, your grammar charts memorized, you've even practiced dialogues in front of the mirror. But the moment someone asks you a simple question, your heart hammers in your chest and your mind trips over its own words. That scene, that paralyzing silence in the face of what should be ordinary conversation, is precisely the moment I first discovered the transformative power of speaking cards. I still remember that afternoon vividly. I was attending a small industry conference overseas, eager to network and learn. As I nervously sipped lukewarm coffee, a friendly delegate from the UK turned to me and said, "So, tell me, what do you think about the future of renewable energy?" My throat closed up. I heard my own voice choking out, I think that it's important. Painful, disjointed, utterly ineffective. Later that day, stung by embarrassment, I vowed to myself there had to be a better way than rehearsed scripts or endless vocabulary drills. I wanted something that mimicked real conversation. Unpredictable, spontaneous, alive. The next week, I stumbled upon a language workshop where the instructor pulled a stack of index cards from her bag. Each had a single prompt, a question, or topic designed to spark 2 minutes of uninterrupted speech. The rule was simple. Draw a card, start the stopwatch, and speak until time ran out. There was no writing down notes, no hiding behind a screen, just pure, unfiltered speaking. When my turn came, my first prompt read, "Describe your dream vacation." I opened my mouth and could feel the words slur and stumble, but I forced myself on. I would visit a small island in the Mediterranean because the words were gravelly at first, but I kept going. 2 minutes later, the red light flashed and I stopped. My sentences were far from perfect, but something remarkable happened. I realized I could speak under pressure. Over the next few sessions, drawing prompts like explain your morning routine or debate the pros and cons of remote work, I noticed my fluency smoothing out, my confidence growing. That simple exercise of pulling a random topic and just talking became a secret weapon in my learning arsenal. So, what exactly are these speaking cards? At their core, they are small prompts, questions, topics, scenarios, each printed or handwritten on an index card. They exist to fight the blank page syndrome of conversation, where the mind goes blank at the very moment you need to speak. Each card gives you a direction, a focus, enough structure to avoid "I don't know," but enough freedom to express yourself authentically. You might have cards like, "What was the best book you read this year?" or "Convince me to take up a new hobby." You can tailor them by theme, daily routine, travel, technology, hypothetical debates, or by language structures, like past tense narratives or conditionals. The beauty is in their simplicity and versatility. Shuffle them, draw one at random, and speak for a set time, 2, 3, even 5 minutes, without stopping. In my own practice, I quickly learned the importance of routine. I created a daily card draw ritual each morning during my coffee break. As the kettle steamed, I would shuffle my deck, draw a single card, and challenge myself to speak directly into my phone's recorder. The prompt might be, "Describe a memorable childhood game," and I'd launch into a narrative. Growing up in a small village, my friends and I would invent obstacle courses in the backyard. At first, these recordings were full of hesitations. Self-corrections. But with each passing day, the ums faded. The sentences connected more smoothly, and my phone's playback revealed a more confident speaker. Listening back, I'd note the awkward phrases and gaps in vocabulary, then jot down 3 words or expressions I wished I had used. By lunchtime, I'd look them up, add them to a flashcard app, and review them later. That afternoon's 15-minute Reading session would then include shadowing examples of those same phrases in context. Within weeks, language that once felt stuck inside my head now flowed out. But speaking cards aren't just for solo practice. In group settings, whether a language exchange meetup or a small workshop, they become a game. I've hosted evenings, where 4 friends gather around a table, each drawing 3 cards in succession. One participant might draw, "Persuade me to switch to a vegan diet," and must speak for 2 minutes defending their position. The others listen, jot down 1 positive comment and 1 suggestion for improvement, then rotate. Over plates of snacks and laughter at each other's unpredictable topics, we not only practice fluency, but also learn to give and receive feedback constructively. The supportive atmosphere dissolves anxiety. After all, everyone is fumbling through random topics together, and each round teaches us new vocabulary. Words like sustainable, degenerative, or ethical consumerism. Words we then weave into our everyday conversations. Let's walk through some specific examples of speaking cards you can create and practice right away. First, consider daily life prompts. These help you nail everyday topics you'll encounter with friends or colleagues. Describe your ideal morning routine, from wake-up to leaving the house. Explain your favorite dish to cook and why. Talk about the last movie you saw and what you liked or disliked. Answering these repeatedly builds muscle memory. For instance, when describing your morning routine, you'll learn to use sequential connectors. First, next, after that, finally, and strong action verbs. Brew, lace, commute, stretch. Over time, you'll internalize the pattern. Chronological order, sensory details, personal reflections. Next, try opinion and debate prompts. Argue for or against remote work as a long-term solution. Discuss whether social media does more harm than good. Convince me we should ban single-use plastics. These cards push you to organize your ideas into coherent arguments. A brief introduction, 2 or 3 supporting points, each illustrated with examples, a concession or counterpoint, and a conclusion. Through practice, you'll develop stock phrases. On one hand, furthermore, however, therefore, and strengthen your ability to think critically in English. For more creative practice, use storytelling and hypothetical scenarios. Imagine you invented a time machine. Describe your first time travel experience. Describe a time you overcame a major challenge. If you could live anywhere in the world for a year, where would you go and why? These prompts encourage vivid narratives, teaching you to set the scene, it was a foggy morning, build tension, suddenly I realized, and reflect on lessons learned. That experience taught me. You'll practice past tenses, descriptive adjectives, and emotional vocabulary. But the real growth happens when you customize your cards to your objectives. If you're preparing for a job interview, create cards like Introduce yourself and Highlight your key strengths, or describe a project you led and its outcomes. If you travel frequently, craft prompts such as Explain how to navigate a new city's public transport system. Each card then becomes a rehearsal for real-life scenarios. And yes, digital tools can enhance your speaking card workflow. Apps like Anki allow you to create close deletion cards, where you fill in missing words from prompts. If you record your spoken responses and attach them to Quizlet sets, you can practice both recognition and production. But don't let technology overwhelm. Simple paper cards shuffled by hand have a tactile magic that engages the mind differently. To maximize your speaking card practice, weave it into your daily life. Morning. Mindset. Over coffee, draw a card, and speak for 2 minutes while you wake up. This kickstarts your thinking in English. Commute challenge. On the train or bus, draw a prompt and silently outline your response, focusing on vocabulary recall. When you're home, record it. Lunchtime round. At lunch with a friend or coworker, casually challenge each other with cards. Make it a fun break. Evening reflection. Before bed, choose 2 cards, one for a factual story and one for an opinion. Reflect on your progress and note improvements. I've also found it invaluable to track my performance. I maintain a simple journal. Date, card prompt, fluency rating, 1 to 5, 3 target vocabulary words, and 1 thing to improve next time. A monthly review shows me patterns. Perhaps I struggle with transitions or verb tenses, and guides my next round of practice. Most importantly, speaking cards foster a growth mindset. When you draw a difficult topic and survive 2 minutes of speech, you learn that you can handle the unexpected. You realize that fluency isn't about knowing every word. It's about the confidence to speak, the resourcefulness to paraphrase, and the resilience to recover from mistakes. In many ways, that initial conference meltdown was a blessing. It pushed me to adopt speaking cards, and through them, I discovered the joy of thinking in English rather than translating each thought. So, here's my final advice. Gather your materials, index cards, a pen, maybe some colored markers, sit down, and create your first deck of 20 prompts tonight. Tomorrow morning, draw your very first card. Give yourself 2 minutes to speak, uninterrupted. Record, listen back, smile at your progress, and note 1 way to push further tomorrow. Share your favorite prompt or recording with the community. I promise you'll find encouragement and fresh ideas. Speaking cards are more than a study tool. They're a conversation gym, a daily challenge that sculpts your fluency. They turn isolated vocabulary into living speech, transform passive knowledge into confident expression, and prepare you for every unexpected question life throws your way. No more freezing up when someone asks your opinion or recounting a story. With practice, you'll launch into smooth, vibrant conversation without a second thought. Thank you for spending this time with me on Everyday English. I'm Peter, reminding you. Mastery is built 1 prompt at a time, 1 speaking card per day. Shuffle, draw, speak, and let your English truly come alive. Until next time, keep talking, keep learning, and keep surprising yourself with how fluent you can become.